The Bobby Bones Show.
We have 90 seconds to get as many of these right as we possibly can. It's the Investigative Morning Corny. The Morning Corny.
Why did the banana go get a haircut?
Why?
Banana split.
The banana.
It had to peel. It was peeling.
Peel.
It went gray.
Slip. Banana.
Banana.
Slide.
Why did it go get
Yellow.
a haircut?
Plantain.
Banana. Get a haircut. Buzz cut.
Yellow.
Scissors.
Haircut. What is a banana haircut? It was splitting.
Potassium.
Oh, split ends.
Yes.
Split ends.
Split ends.
What do you call someone who raps about vegetables?
A vegetable. DJ. MC.
Broccoli.
Cucumber.
What?
Bell pepper.
What is
Somebody who raps about vegetables. Yo.
a bagger?
Seed.
A gardener. A farmer. MC Farmer.
McDonald. Cucumber.
MC Vegan.
Name vegetables. Broccoli.
Tomato.
Olives.
Vegan. Vegetarian.
Celery.
MC Vegetarian.
Lettuce.
Lettuce.
MC lettuce.
MC beat.
Oh, it's
a
beat.
beatboxer. A beatboxer.
Yep. Why aren't grapes ever lonely?
Pulled.
vine.
Because they're
Raisin.
wine.
They're raisin.
Because they're wine.
Raisin babies.
They're on the vine. They're wine. They're crying.
They're wine on the vine. They're crying.
Why aren't grapes ever lonely?
Because they're bunched up together.
Because they're in bunches. They hang in bunches.
Okay, hang in bunches.
yes.
Why is it vine?
That's not the same thing. Is it time?
That was it.
You got 3.
3. It felt like, man, that felt
That felt
forever.
like a long
Felt like
time.
1.
It's not bad.
Some of them are. It's just effort the whole time. It
Yeah.
never feels good.
And there was a theme,
Vegetables.
produce.
Produce.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, clear eyes, full hearts.
Can't lose.
You send an email and we read it on the air. It's something we call Bobby's Mailbag. Yeah.
Hello, Bobby Bones. My wife recently retired after 30 years on the job and is now enjoying being at home all the time. About half the day, she busies herself with projects around the house. She's in the yard. But I work from home full time. And she's constantly checking in with me or expecting me to be available to help her with stuff. I have seen my productivity take a major hit since she's been home. I don't know how to delicately approach the subject with her. I feel like the best way would be to suggest she get a part-time job. Do you think making this suggestion would be a good way to tackle the problem? Signed, husband who needs peace and quiet. Sir, I do not. I do not think that would be the way to fix the problem. That would be one of the worst ways to fix the problem, actually. If I were to list them, that would be near the bottom to tell her to go and do stuff. I do think this is a conversation of, hey, I know I'm at home, so it feels like I'm always available, but I've been so less productive since there have been things I've been trying to help you with. You have to even delicately say those words. You can't say, since you've been bothering me.
I know. But I just even feel like that was a little negative. But maybe not. I'm trying to see if I was the one receiving it. And I'm like,
this is how I'd say it to you.
so I made you less productive?
Yes. Thank you for noticing. Yes. And it's not that I don't like hanging out with you. I do. But if I don't get my productivity back to a certain point, I don't know they're going to let me keep this job. And then I'm going to have to go and work from inside the office, and I'm never going to be home. That'd be how I'd lay it out. But I do think this is one of those uncomfortable conversations. And you know what's uncomfortable? Growing all the time. Physically, emotionally, mentally. Even in this situation, any growth is uncomfortable, but it's always good in the end. So I think that's the conversation. Hey, I got a note from work. Apparently my performance has not been good. And I feel like it's because I want to hang out with you so much while you're at home. So I've got to stop doing that. It's not that I don't want to, but I've got to have these. There you go. And then she's like, yeah.
Yeah, she'll want to respect. Yeah.
Well, you're joined up to hate them.
Yeah, okay. I like this way just sounded better to me.
I just need like 30 seconds to figure it out.
Once you figured it out. Because at first it was like, hey, since you've been home, I'm less productive because of you.
Well, that's how I think it, but how I say it would be different.
Yeah.
But yes, you have got to fix this, but do not tell her to get a job. That is last on the list. Right, that's next to last, right before we should get divorced.
What?
My job performance is down, we should get divorced. That's very last. This is one spot above that. Good luck with that. I think you can figure it out because you're in the house. I think this happened during COVID a lot too. Because people were in the house, people felt like they were always available to hang out, but people still had to get work done. So take some of this advice. It's free.
We got your email and we read it on the air. Now it's time to close Bobby's mailbag. Yeah.
Thanks for kicking off your day with the Bobby Bones Show. Case 100.7.
It's a Bobby Bones Show interview.
In case you didn't know, Mason Ramsey coming in studio. You would know Mason Ramsey from the kid that was yodeling in Walmart. Yodel Boy. Went super viral. Had this song famous.
If I'm gonna be famous.
But now who knew, Amy? Kids grew up.
Yeah, it happens.
Who knew?
It's hard to see sometimes.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Here he is now. I got a new song on the Twisters movie. He's on the soundtrack. It's called Shake Shake.
Let's go crazy.
Doesn't even sound like the same person. But also, he's not a kid anymore. He's a kid, but not a kid. Here he is, Mason Ramsey.
On the Bobby Bones Show now.
Mason Ramsey.
Mason, I saw you singing with Lana Del Rey.
Yes.
Like 2 million views when I saw it. I'm sure it's way over that now. That was pretty cool. How'd that come together?
She's just just all around a very sweet person, even behind the scenes. I've met a lot of celebrities, but she's like one of the like sweetest celebrities that I've ever met.
And how did you end up with her singing? Like, what even happened there?
She just reached out to me on Instagram.
Oh,
and
that's cool. That's the whole story. We're good.
I wanted to do a collab with her, and so she reached out to me because she seen where I asked if we could collab together, and she said let's make it happen. And so pretty much that I could go to Fenway with her and do a song with her there, pretty much, and that was honestly so crazy.
Yeah, that's super.
It's a lot of people.
Who cool have you heard from, and like you've got to do something like sing with them or like hang out with them? Like, who's your top 3?
Well, let's see, Zach Bryan.
Yeah,
I really love him.
What'd you do? Did you meet him?
Yeah, I got to meet him. My old manager actually manages him, or does like part management deal with him. And so Zach, had the connection with me through my old manager, and so he told his manager to reach out to me, and we did a revival together, and that was awesome as well.
All right, that's one. Give me number 2.
Okay. I got to meet Jelly Roll at the Spotify house.
Really nice guy, huh?
Yes, super nice guy. I'm trying to think of number 3. Number 3.
Can be anybody ever that you've ever like worked with or hung out with.
And Justin Bieber's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty. That was a long time ago, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
How'd you get on the Twister soundtrack? How'd that come together?
So I've been working on an album for the past 6 months, and my label reached out to me, and they were wanting one of my songs to be put on the Twister soundtrack, and I was like, okay. So we were writing some songs.
Okay, weird.
Just like in awe and like amazed, Yeah. And I wrote a song called Shake Shake, and I was like, this is pretty cool. I said, just pitch this to them and see if they like it. And they said that they loved it, and so it just came about that one of my songs got to be put on the Twisters album.
Pretty cool, because it's like Mason Ramsey, Luke Combs, Miranda Lambert, Jelly Roll.
I know, that's pretty wild.
I remember once, and I have a job that's pretty cool where I get to meet a lot of cool people. And so for me, I don't get starstruck often because I deal and get to be lucky enough to have celebrities in all the time, right?
Right.
That being said, I was on a flight with you once, on a Southwest flight, and I saw you and I freaked out. I was like, holy crap. That happened all the time when people were just like, that's the guy. Was that happening everywhere you went?
Pretty much. And it's still to this day, it just still amazes me that people like know me by my name and still recognize me. So I think that's pretty cool.
Did it ever get annoying?
Oh, no. I enjoy it.
It wasn't so much like you're just trying to use the bathroom. Because I've been peeing before at a urinal and somebody pops over the top like, hey, oh my God, are you Bobby? And I'm like, dude, let me at least finish peeing. Like no awkward situations where fans were just in your space or driving by your house or anything?
No, well, I've had a few a few stalkers.
You were wildly famous. Like for a while you were just everywhere. And that's cool, but also there's got to be a breaking point. You're like, I need a break, right?
No.
See, that's what I need.
It doesn't I really do just enjoy it all around, and I love meeting people and like going to new places and just seeing the world and traveling and meeting more people.
What was it like to have your life change in like 4 or 5 days because of something you didn't even intend to change your life? Meaning if you make a record now, You're going, I'm making this record. I hope people love it. And if they do, mission accomplished. I set out to do this. But with you, that really wasn't the plan. You're just singing back home. What was it like? Or were you too young to even really know what was going on?
Well, first off, I didn't have internet where I lived, and I still don't. So that's one thing. So I didn't really know what was going on, what was taking off. And then it's just pretty crazy how everything took off. We got the call from Ellen, and that was pretty wild. That was unexpected, honestly. I loved it. It's really cool just to be there.
Do you still perform Lovesick Blues?
I do.
Oh, good for you. That's awesome. Because if I were you, I'd probably be like, I don't want to sing the song anymore. Because that's real maturity in that. Because people still want to hear that song. Wow. Good. Do you want to sing it, or does somebody give you that, like, hey, keep singing the song that people, because it's also a classic country song, right?
Yes, absolutely. I like it. I love it because it shows off my vocal ability. And I don't know, something just flipping it between the over the bridge. I don't know. That's probably my favorite thing to do.
You're part of the Twister soundtrack, and we're going to play that song coming up in just a second. The original came out of the first Twister movie in 1996, which is 10 years before you were born. Yeah. Have you seen the original?
I have not yet.
It's good. Well, man, congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much, Bobby.
Yeah. You guys, so Mason Ramsey, at Mason Ramsey on Instagram. And again, he has so many shows. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you so much.
I like the double-breasted shirt. If I could pull that off, I'd be wearing that. That's awesome.
Well, thank you.
And keep killing it, man. I'm rooting for you. And I knew you when you were on a Southwest flight right next to me. That's right. That's when I knew him. That's when I knew Mason Ramsey the first time. Mason, good to talk to you, buddy.
Thank you so much, Bobby.
Bobby Bones Show.
Let's go. It's time for the good news.
With producer Eddie.
Tell me something good.
A group of Tulane students were building a mini house, like one of those tiny homes, for their class. And they were building it, trying to design everything. They're future architects. But before they were done, the professor said, you know what you're building? You're building a future home for a homeless man that has been homeless for 2 decades. He was living under a bridge under I-10 in New Orleans, and now he's going to have his own home designed by college students.
I think that's awesome. I love the professor assigned that to them. I also feel like if there was a way to get these really, really inexpensive, that we guys should have like an actual doghouse. We could go to if we get in trouble.
Oh, like in the
got-
backyard?
Yeah.
In your
the
own
Central
house?
Doghouse.
Oh, like when we're in trouble.
No, you're
got our
going
own
to want
space.
to
Wait,
get
yeah,
some.
that's
No,
a
you're
man
going to be like,
cave,
I'm
dude.
just going to put my.
Oh, you're meaning for our houses. I thought you meant on the show. I'm like, what?
No, on our houses.
That's funny. I thought that too. Like, oh, we're in trouble. We go to the other room.
Because I know it would be up. Like if we could just have, like if we had these.
So what would be in there, Bones? Like a PS5?
No, and it'd be terrible. It'd be literature. How to be a better husband. Play along, bro. There would be probably like some weights so we could get more physically toned for our wives.
For sure.
Yeah, some like a 75-inch TV so we can watch rom-coms so we know what women want.
Interesting. That's a weird turn.
The tiny house.
Is that what he really wants?
Yeah,
You don't want a
I
TV?
think
He answered that so
You don't want a
passionately.
TV in there?
You want those rom-coms?
No, guys, you say you're watching rom-coms and you go in there and watch sports.
I don't think
Hello.
they're falling for that. Just a lot of literature in there.
You guys fell for it right there.
All right, there you go. Great story. That is what it's all about.
That was Tell Me Something Good.
This is the Bobby Bones Show.
New
Bobby's Big
Stories.
Missouri firefighter steals the wallet of a victim from the scene of a car crash.
Man.
First of all, like shout out to all the firefighters. I feel like 99.9% of them are awesome and they're out there risking their lives for us. But like anything else, there's always a dud or two, and this probably is one of those situations. A firefighter is admitted to stealing a victim's wallet after a car crash that killed 4 people, pocketing the cash and then using his debit card. Arnold Britt, 40, pleaded guilty to receiving stolen property and fraudulent use of the credit card on Monday. He asked 7 Robinson Laney, 18, one of 4, to give him the wallet for identification and then never returned it. Dude. That is from the Daily Mail. That is not good. Oh. Every other firefighter, though, you rock.
Yeah.
But that's... Because, again, you're in a wreck. Of course you're going to give them probably anything. You're like, oh, my, just take my wallet. You know, you're not in a normal mind. Oh, man. U.S. dog owners, speaking of money, spend an average of $28,000 over the pet's lifetime. Ooh. U.S. dog owners spend that money, the study suggests, because it's food, vet visits, dog walkers, daycare, pet insurance. owning a pet in America has never been more expensive. And then it talks about per state, California, number 1, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and Washington. Oklahoma, the least expensive state to own a dog, costing residents $24,000 over a lifetime. That's a significant amount of money. When I called Arkansas Keith, who is my, used to be my stepdad, still feel like he's my stepdad, but my mom died. They divorced before my mom died. But the first thing we talk about are his dogs. He's like, yeah, whichever one. He's got a bunch of bird dogs that are awesome. That was always a big thing for us too, because we had a lot. We had deer dogs and bird dogs and a lot of hunting dogs, like that I would get really close to as animals, and I think that's why my love of dogs is now. Had a Boston Terrier once, not a hunting dog. Dogs are out of their mind because they're crazy, and so the Boston Terrier would sleep on my chest when I was a kid. My first dog. I never had a bedroom growing up. I slept on the couch in the living room, and so the dog would sleep on my chest. And that thing would have nightmares and bite me. It'd sleep on my chest, and go, a little small. It'd wake up, and just bite my nipple, bite my stomach. I still have a couple scars, small scars from my stomach on it. And I remember Arkansas Keith gave that dog to a friend of his because we couldn't keep it anymore because it bit somebody else. And it really wasn't a biting dog, except bit me every day, I guess. It kind of was a biting dog. I loved that dog so much. And I remember Arkansas Keith and my mom, they were like, hey, the dog's name was Bradley. It was like, Bradley bit somebody. He's going to have to go live with Keith's friend from the mill, lives out of town. I was like, great. And so I remember I was telling my wife about it a couple years ago. And she was like, so you never saw him again? I said, no, he went and lived a life. She goes, that dog's not, I got news for you. I was like, what? She goes, that dog, no, they didn't give the dog. They didn't put the dog in a field and go live with. I was like, you're out of your mind. We called Arkansas Keith. Hey, what happened with that dog? And he goes, oh, it was aggressive. We had to shoot it. And I was like, whoa, my God.
Yeah.
Yes, I was 40 years old when I learned that they were going to have to put the dog down anyway. In the country, if a dog, you shoot the dog. Because the vet was going to put it down. Oh, yeah. No, here's the sad part. One, that. Two, that I was 40 before I realized it. Yeah, that part sucked. But anyway, sorry about all the money you have to spend on dogs. I loved that dog, but it would bite like crazy. Only a matter of time for it bit somebody, though, other than me. But it got my nipple once, and I bled. Scientists revealed the ideal number of poops you should be doing each week for your health. Now, I would go 4 or 5 days at times at my unhealthiest. And then I would take like medicine for it. And I still have IBS, but it is complete stress-related IBS. I now have figured out because I'm just so like wound up all the time. It is stress-related. You're supposed to have 2 a day, which is perfect. To me, that's like, how many steps supposed to get a day? 1 million. That's what 2 of those a day is. Wow. Like someone getting 1 million steps in a day. So 2 a day if you're healthy. I do talk about it in my comedy act. I do take Metamucil, and it's awesome, and it works
every day.
Yeah, most days. And I take it. I do the cookies.
Oh.
And I'm going to let everybody know, if you're like me, I'm not embarrassed of this because I've had a lot of struggle, and I've talked about my issues with just IBS. And I always thought IBS, which is irritable bowel, I thought it was like itch. I thought they get an itchy tummy. Like it's irritated. But Metamucil has been a game changer for me, and I don't do commercials for Metamucil. I did have an endorsement with them once. That was awesome. A long time ago. But yeah, 2 times a day and you are healthy. And I don't want to get into poop talk with anybody, but I do think about that because I deal with that. A bride demands the bridesmaids take out a $20,000 loan to be in her wedding.
What?
I'm not going to be in the wedding, and I'm not going to be her friend anymore.
Yeah, I've never even heard of this.
One bride is demanding her gal pals take out $20,000 in loans to participate in her posh pre-wedding escapades. Quote, here's the deal. My wedding in January 2025 at the fabulous Cipriani in Miami. Could be saying that wrong. And I have some expectations, reads the bulletin. She shared it. And it says a lot of stuff. A $700 dress fitting. Mostly it's if you don't have the money, I expect you to take a loan out.
Got it. Yeah.
Because everything costs about $20,000. I'm going to pass on that one. That's how much a dog costs. You can have a dog or you can be in the wedding. One of the two. And then finally, is it okay for someone who's rich to lie about the money they have on a first date? That is the question that they're asking.
Interesting.
If somebody's rich, is it okay if they lie and act like they're not? Or is that a lie? and you shouldn't lie.
I'm
Go
trying
ahead.
to figure out how this comes up on a first date. So how much money do you have?
I don't think it's that, but I think it could be a car you drive, a place you go. I think there could be a lot of things where if you were rich, you could really just go complete uptown, black car, go to a fancy restaurant, or we're going to go to a little hole-in-the-wall Mexican place, and I'm going to drive a normal car, and I'm going to talk about my job as if it's a normal person job, not some crazy finance job.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
It is a lie, though.
Why? What if you like all those things?
No, but the point is they're doing it to make sure the person's not dating them for their money, but they are being dishonest about it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I feel like if you're just making certain choices to just be, normal-ish.
But you're not really normal-ish in real life.
What are they going to do if they pass the test and suddenly
you're
they
not
get
using
this
them for their money?
Glam life?
Well, it would be, I trust that you're not using me for my money.
That's going to be a difficult situation to be in. I don't know. I've not ever been in it, so I'm not sure what it's like to wonder, is someone with me right now just because of my money? And that would be really hard. So I guess I'm saying it's okay.
This is what I'm going to do. In the podcast today, because we do a supplemental podcast where we get to talk about things longer, I will talk about my experience with this because it was, when I was young, I had to fake like I had any money. Well, first of all, nobody wanted to go on a date with me. Let's be honest. For the first 25 years of my life. Then I started to have medium success. Then success grew. Then I started to be kind of embarrassed. And I would have to do a situational thing like this. I'll talk about it in the podcast if you guys want to hear it. It'll be very honest. I won't hold anything back. But you can hear that. Go search for the Bobby Bone Show podcast probably around noon today, and you can hear that conversation. Okay? All right, that's the news.
Those were Bobby's Big
Stories.